Yo, yo, RX back with another breakdown of UFC 326 Holloway versus Oliveira 2. We back with another breakdown of our first pay-per-view in over a month since January. It's not a full month, but you know what I mean. Our first pay-per-view since January that is a complete one-fight card. Yeah, this is not a good card at all, to be honest. The main event's great, even if BMF fights should still not be main events, whatever. It's a good fight. The versus card is an Apex card, to be 100% honest with you. If you took the main event off and made this an Apex card, it would be a weak Apex card. I don't know what else to really say there. On paper, of course. In execution, we're gonna fucking find out on Saturday. But if you're asking me on paper, I think this card's a joke outside the main event. Not saying there's not other fights on the card I don't enjoy. I'm looking forward to 2 other fights on the main card. I think some of the prelims are alright, but a lot of them are either Apex prelims or just bad fights in general. And yeah, it's just a weak card. I think this could easily make the case for the weakest card of the year. Is it better than 325 on paper? I might say no. I truly might not. I definitely think 324, the Apex card, and the last 2 fight nights were better on paper, and we'll see how this one does in execution. It has a very low floor and a mid-tier ceiling, I would say, of like a 6 or a 7. At most, a 7 would be a goddamn miracle out of this card, so if that happened, hallelujah. But I'm gonna say it's unlikely, so. But, you know, we're not here to talk about how the fights are gonna be, or how great or terrible they will be. We're here to talk about who's winning them. And, yeah, I'm not looking forward to doing that either, because some of these fights are a bitch to predict, so, oh joy. But, yeah, I've done really good this year. I've not had a bad week yet, knock on wood. Let's see if this streak continues. I have a really bad feeling with this card that it won't. And, yeah, I never do good on pay-per-views, so, or I guess I did do good on the last 2, but I never do amazing on pay-per-views, so, see what happens. I'm worried to pick this card. I'm worried for this card in general, because it does not look good, but the BMF cards are always pretty ass. I think the only one that eventually, I think a few have been good, but a few have been ass. I know Holloway and the Poirier Gaethje one was good, so I'm trying to think. Masvidal Diaz was alright from what I remember, but you know, Holloway and Poirier was a garbage card, we can admit that. And I actually think this card might be better than that one by a hair, but whatever, that was one of the worst pay-per-views of last year. Hopefully Max can get better luck this year, and see what happens. Can we get some good luck with this card and picks and how it is overall? We're gonna get the White House announced during it as well, which is awesome, so let's see what happens, man. So, that being said, not really much else to be said outside of, before I get into this normal YouTube bullshit, please like, comment, and subscribe. Trying to his goal by the end of 2026. Never gonna happen, but it is what it is. As always, last time I'm going to say something which I don't believe I am. I talked about the card, did the YouTube bullshit, 13 fights to break down. Some will be quick, some will be in depth, and see what happens. Hopefully the weigh-ins, after the weigh-ins, everyone is still on the card, knock on wood. Kind of the threat of doing this the night before the weigh-ins. I've been burned a few times just this year, so knock on wood there, and see what happens. So, UFC 326 breakdown, you ready? I know I am. 13 fights from UFC's favorite place on earth, the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Back in the States. Is the card gonna be better than what Mexico gave us? Probably not, but let's find out. You ready? I know I am. UFC 326 breakdown. Begin. As we begin on the early prelims, it's the first of 3 debuts and the first of 2 lightweight fights on the early prelims, as we have in a fight that's probably way lower than it should be, because it's actually one of the better prelims, but I don't even fucking question it anymore. We have in our opening fight of the night in the early prelims in the light heavyweight division, the first of 2 debuts in that weight class, and first 2 fights on the early prelims from that class. We have in the first fight of the night a pretty solid one at that, between Luke Fernandez versus Rodolfo Actor Bellato. Oh boy, Actor Bellato is back. I am so thrilled. Let's talk about Luke Fernandez, the first of 3 debuts and 2 at light heavyweight. And the first fighter of the night, and I believe the only undefeated one on the card at 6-0. Fernandez, American, 30 years old, coming off the Contender Series where he had, I believe, the quickest fight in the show's history, I want to say. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think one of at least 15 seconds. He literally just won a full 1-2 and dropped him in very Terrence McKinney, Matt Favola style. Most people made fun of the opponent he was fighting as being pathetic, so take that if you will. And, but he got to win the contract and got signed. The guy who was hyped up going into the fight lived up to it and is now here. Again, not a deep career, and I guess count his amateur career, he would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-0. Definitely pro. He's only had 5 fights, has done some wrestling and against UFC guys, no less. But in his MMA fights, he's fought no one worth a damn. Let's see. All wins by knockout, 1 decision, no submission wins for a guy who does a bunch of grappling's kind of weird. But, okay. I guess that is what it is. I can't say much about Luke. I only saw him fight for 15 seconds and he threw a 1-2 and got the win. So, but a lot of people are high on him. 30 years old, Cage Fury champion, which is a respectable promotion. CFFC, so can't really... I've seen fighters come from more pathetic ones. And, yeah, let's see what he brings to the division. Light heavyweight needs anything it can get. Fernandez is a guy who has some hype. Not the youngest, but light heavyweight, you don't need to be too young. And, yeah, 6-0. Maybe he'll fight for more than 15 seconds and have to throw more than a 1-2. Does some wrestling, so we know he can do that as well. Seems like a good signing. So he brings to the table. Again, maybe we'll see him fight for more than 15 seconds this time. But if not, I'm not upset about that either. Because he is fighting the joke that is Rodolfo Bellato, the actor himself. 12-3-1 in his career, 30 years old as well, 1-1-1-1 in the UFC. Yeah, I don't need to waste much time on him. We all know what we know him for, the Paul Craig bullshit where he played dead after barely getting tapped. He's a joke. 1-1-1-1, so he's had every outcome in a fight humanly possible. And, yeah, he's terrible. So, what else can I say? This sums it up. He is the #1 MMA actor, maybe even worse than Sterling, because at least Sterling got hit with a knee that looked like, okay, maybe it could hurt a bit. Dude, you were fine, and you're fighting Paul Craig. What a little bitch. No respect for him. And I'm happy he got thrown down to the first fight of the night, because he's a bitch. And the betting odds don't disagree that he's a bitch, having Luke Fernandez -220 to +180. Yeah, I think that would be about what I would have. Maybe you want to have him a little bit lower, because we really don't know what Fernandez really is, how good he is. And so, again, we only saw him for 15 seconds, so, but I'm not upset at those odds. Bellato's 2 inches taller for 1.5 inches in reach, but Fernandez is 87% picked, and I'm joining that 87%, picking Luke Fernandez here for many reasons. A, fuck Bellato, and B, I actually think Fernandez will win this fight because he's better. Yeah, what can I really say? Bellato is just not a good fighter at all. Like, even in his win, he almost got finished by Ihor Potieria. Jimmy Crute almost finished him. Sterling beat him with ease. he's just not a good fighter, and he's a little bitch at the same time, so, that's not helpful. He has no heart, he's not a good fighter, and, yeah, I'm going Fernandez here. I'm gonna, same way they started off last week, give me Luke Fernandez by knockout in the first. I think he should be able to clip him pretty easily and get the win. He's just a much better fighter. I think if it went 15 minutes, I think Luke would probably win as well. He's got that wrestling in his back pocket. Just seems like a better fighter. Bellato isn't just a joke. And, yeah, Fernandez should win this fight, unless he is just a terrible fraud that Bellato can just upset by being a little more experienced, then fine. But I'm gonna say that's unlikely, and I'm going Luke Fernandez by knockout in the first, because he's just better. So, give me Fernandez by knockout in the first to clip that chin that somehow always finds a way to get clipped, because he's not good at fighting. And, yeah, not much to say there. Again, could Fernandez get fraud checked for just being inexperienced? Sure. But I think even if he's not a good fighter, he should still win this fight. So give me Luke by knockout in the first. Start the night off with a bang, just like Damian Pinos last week. And, yeah, let's start the night off hot. Give me Fernandez by knockout in the first. Fuck Bellato. And, maybe light heavyweight has a new decent fighter in it. Hallelujah. Let's start the night off with a bang, and an O. I believe the only O on the card, unless I'm wrong. No, I'm not. But either way, give me Luke Fernandez to get the win and start off with a bang. And then we go from a bang to a damn. Am I gonna predict this fucking clown show? As we have in our second fight of the night, and we're already into really tough to predict territory. Definitely in the running. Maybe not I think out of the 3 fights I would call difficult to predict. I would say 2. The 2 fights I would call difficult to predict. This one's probably the least, the easier of the 2, but still not fun to predict. And as we have in our second fight of the night in the featherweight division, an apex fight in every sense of the word outside of it not being in the apex. We have in our second fight of the night at featherweight, our only featherweight fight tonight, I believe. One of 2, well, yeah, I forgot. And then both have a bantamweight moving up, how weird. And we have in the much harder to predict one, Gaston the Dream Killer Bolanos versus a Korean Tiger, Jeong Yeong Lee. Yeah, not looking forward to this one as a predictor or a viewer, because I think it sucks in both regards. This is a very low-level fight. Gaston moving up to featherweight, Lee staying at featherweight when most people think he should go to lightweight. Oh boy, let's talk about it. Beginning with fake Ilya himself, or one of the few on the card. And actually, I almost forgot this fight did change on short notice. This is meant to be Ju Sang-yu, and now it's Jeong Yeong Lee versus Gaston Bolanos, so a much easier opponent, and somehow they can fight much more difficult to predict. So, great. As we begin the breakdown of the fight with fake Peruvian Ilya himself, Gaston Bolanos, 8-5, 33 years old, 2-2 in UFC, all at bantamweight. This is his first fight at featherweight. In his debut, he beat Aaron Phillips in a very unimpressive performance. Then he got fed to Marcus McGee for some goddamn reason. Beat Cortavis Ronaldo as an underdog. Still happy I predicted that. And Quang Lee beat the shit out of him back in May of last year, so getting close to a year on that. Took some time off, moving up to featherweight now, and could be fighting for his job here, because he's not a great fighter. Bolanos is a dude who I don't understand why they signed him, because even when they signed him, he was 6-3 and not that great of a record. Kind of washed out of Bellator with the Muay Thai. He comes from Combat Sports Academy. I feel like that's a big gym. Nope. No one comes from that gym. Jessica Rose Clark and Jessica Rose Clark. So, it's not sure why Bolanos got signed, but they have Peruvians and probably better ones than him, but sure. He's a fine striker, but he really hasn't got shown that because no one strikes him outside of Marcus McGee, who is just fucking phenomenal and beat him easily. The other three, Aaron, Cortelius, and Quang, all grappled him, and none of them are in the UFC anymore. That's another not a great sign. Yeah, Bolanos is just not a great fighter. Maybe the featherweight move will help him. You know, he didn't look out of place at bantamweight. I don't know. His grappling is competent, because defensively he's not the worst in the world, but he's not a phenomenal grappler either. And again, striking-wise, he's alright. Again, I'm a Muay Thai guy, but we haven't got to see anything that cool of him striking, because either A, he's not striking, or B, Marcus McGee. So, and maybe his last chance up a weight class. They love Peruvians, because they don't get many of them. Gaston, probably one of the better ones, which would say a lot. Fake Ilya himself. See if what he can do here in desperate need of a win after not looking great against Quang Lee, getting a guy who probably is the easiest fight. Nah, Cortez Romulus was a worse opponent. So, but getting an easier fight than the original opponent for this card, kind of do or die for him. See what Gaston can do here. Out of the Apex for the second time in a row. My bad. Maybe you should stay in the Apex. Seems like it was better for him. But he is fighting a really bad opponent. Could actually win here, because neither of them are good. We have his opponent, Jiang Lee, 11-3, 30 years old, 2-2 in UFC as well, but his 2 losses are in a row. He came off the road to UFC. Probably shouldn't have won this fight. It was definitely a robbery. Since then, he beat Blake Builder. Remember him? Me neither. And then he lost 2 in a row against Hyder Emil and Daniel Santos. Daniel Santos, fine loss. Hyder Emil, that's not aged phenomenal at all, but you know, is what it is. And now he is in desperate need of a win after losing 2 straight, and he hasn't fought since May as well. Most people think he should move up to lightweight. He's staying at featherweight, stepping on short notice here, so we'll see if he makes weight. And yeah, it's crazy that he came in at 10-1 and now is 11-3. Not a great fighter, one of the weaker road to UFC winners, which says a lot. Yiza, who he lost to, for being honest, is much better. And again, he's stepping in for Ju Sang-Yu, who didn't come from road to UFC, but he's much better than Lee. And yeah, so but Lee is getting a very big step down here. His easiest fight since Blake Builder, so if he was gonna get a win, it'd be now. Don't know if you hear that background noise. Fucking train. But I guess this is the Jiang Lee hype train going. I think that shit died if it ever existed. But yeah, I'm not high on Lee. I think he's a very fighter. And like I said, when he stepped in for Ju Sang-Yu, I said it's an easier fight for Bolanos, but a harder fight to predict. So, because they're both pretty bad. Who's worse, we'll find out. And who keeps their job, let's find out. The betting odds for this fight have Lee minus 255 to plus 210. I really don't understand those at all. I would have this a pick'em in every sense of the word. I don't know how you could read this fight and be confident in either side. Both guys are coming off losses. Both guys have been on that good. The best win between them is fucking Blake Builder, probably. So, or actually Yiza, and that was not even a real win, so yeah, I don't get the betting odds at all there. Lee is 3 inches taller, has 73.5 inch reach to 69 nice, and 89% picked. If you think Lee is just going to grapple fuck Bolanos to a decision, I don't blame you. I could see it. If this fight's on the feet, Bolanos is probably the better striker. If it's on the ground, Lee is going to be better, but I think this fight's going to come down to who's better late in the fight, because I don't see a finish in this fight at all. So I think it's more who is better late in the fight, and I could definitely see this being the case, kind of like Bolanos and Romulus, where Bolanos is just able to keep reversing and staying alive on the ground and tiring out the opponent and win a decision. That's what he did to Cortavius, and that might be what he does to Lee here, because Lee, not a great cardio fighter, not a great fighter, and we'll see if he can keep Bolanos down to win, or can Gaston keep it up and win in the very intriguing fight. Again, not high level, not that great of a fight. I would say the worst fight on the card, skill-wise, on both sides, and I gotta make a pick here. God damn it. So do I think Bolanos is gonna be able to keep it standing, or does Lee lay on him? Fuck. Give me fake Ilya, god damn it. I just have a weird feeling Gaston's a hair better here. First of all, I think I've gotten fights right picking the underdog in both these guys' fights. I picked Daniel against Lee, and I picked Gaston versus Cortavius, so I guess I'm not bad at picking underdogs in their fights. But now I gotta pick one of them to beat the other. I just feel like Gaston is a bit better of a fighter. He is older, smaller, but he's moving up to featherweight, which is a better weight class for him than it is for Lee. Again, Lee, short nose and making a cut that has not been great to him in the past. I think Gaston is better as a fighter. I think Gaston can do enough on the ground, kind of like he did against Cortavius, and win this one. But again, I'm not confident either side. If you told me Lee lays on him for 15 minutes, I would fucking be like, sure, probably. It's just a bad fight. It truly is. It would be a terrible PFL prelim and it's a terrible UFC fight. These guys are at the bottom of the division, and one of them has to win and stay, the other has to get cut. Which one do I think happens? Give me Gaston Bolanos by decision. I have no fucking confidence in that prediction, but I have to make a pick. I'm gonna go for what I think's a bit better, and that is Gaston Bolanos. I just don't think much of Lee. I think he's a bad fighter, and I think he's lost to better fighters, because, like, obviously Mark McGee's the best out of the 4 losses, but also, like, I can make a case for either side. I'm on Gaston Bolanos. I just think he can, I think he has better cardio. I think he can keep it on the feet or do enough on the ground to not get laid on. I think he can win this fight up a weight class, not cutting as much weight. Lee in a weight class he probably shouldn't be in, a lot of people would say. Give me Bolanos. Again, I don't even think this should be a fucking big favorite fight. This should be a pick'em, and I'm gonna go with the Peruvian here, which is never a good thing to go with the Peruvian fighter, because they're never that good. We had Peruvian Kev last week, but give me Gaston Bolanos by decision. I'm not confident in that pick at all. If I get it wrong, I would not be shocked, but give me who I think's better. Give me Gaston Bolanos by decision. Pick and pray, some you'll hear a few times on this card in these next few fights. I'm picking and praying with Gaston Bolanos. If Lee wins, so be it, but give me the Peruvian give me Peruvian Ilya by decision. Good thing after that we don't have a fight that's real to predict. This is the easiest fight out of the next few on this card. Thankfully, as we head back to light heavyweight, right back to light heavyweight, the last heavy fight on the card. As we have in the third fight, the early prelims co-main event of the evening with our second debut, and one of the, I would say, the second easiest fight to predict on the card, as we have right back to easy fights to predict before we get into back-to-back. Oh god, I gotta predict this fight here. We have a light heavyweight in our second and final debut in that weight class and fight. We have Rafael Bipolar, great nickname, Tobias, versus Dayar Nurgazai. Yeah, I doubt I have to really make it suspicious who I'm picking here. I think this is, again, one of the 3 easiest fights to pick on the card. This could have easily been my lock of the night, but it's just short of being, but again, it might as well be a lock, so let's just talk about it real quick, so there's not much to say. Beginning with the second debuting light heavyweight tonight, Rafael Tobias, Bipolar, great nickname, 14-1, 22 years old, very young, from Shoot to Box. Coming out to Contender Series where he got a win in very quick succession, about under 4 minutes. Didn't look as perfect as Fernandez, but how could you try and follow up 15 seconds? But he did look good. He got the win and got the contract, so 14-1 prospect from Shoot to Box. Wins in all kinds of fashions, knockouts, decisions, and submissions. Has he fought a who's who? No, not really. Most of his wins are not great, but it happens. Again, from Shoot to Box, so very good camp with Charles. That's pretty cool for him. Yeah, saw more of him than we did Fernandez on Contender Series. And again, Tobias looked pretty decent, and we'll see how he looks here. So, getting a layup of layups in his debut. 14-1, that one loss was to Miguel Porto. Don't know if that's a good loss or not. Is it? Nope. So that's not a great fucking sign. But I guess it happens. It happens. And since he's won 6 in a row, they can make it 7 here, and they should. Because he is fighting debatably the worst fighter in the division. The very fraud-checked Dayar Nurgazai, 10-2, 28 years old, 0-2 in UFC, coming out Contender Series. Where he actually looked good, got the head kick knockout, was talked about for that weird twitch where he has to touch his eye every second. And then in the UFC, he's been beat twice, missed weight, and lost to Brendanson Hibero. That's a fucking crime. And then Iran Boliev dropped him and subbed him with a fucking Ezekiel choke from Mount. So, which that's just, Iran's a good fighter, but Jesus fucking Christ, that's not really common. And now he fights Tobias. Yeah, Nurgazai's a joke. I don't know what else to say. Dude looks fucking lost on the ground, and even on the feet as well. He's a complete tomato can. He's just here to lose. Kazakhstan, I'm sorry. Shavkat's gone, and you don't have anyone else outside of him. But, yeah, maybe he'll be back soon, because Dayar is not it. He's a fucking joke, and, what was I to really say? So, yeah, he lost to Brendanson Hibero. Enough of that. The betting odds for his fight have Tobias to 250 plus 205. I would have the odds way bigger. I would have Tobias minus 400. Like, I'm not even saying he's like some top tier elite prospect, but Jesus fucking Christ. If a dude's losing to Brendanson Hibero, you should be fine. So, yeah, not even much to say there. Same height, in a half an inch in reach, and Tobias is 93% picked. That's even too little. Should be 99% picked, and I'm gonna join that 93%. Obviously, going Tobias. He's gonna win this fight. Nurgazai is garbage. Tobias is better on the ground, probably as good, if not better, on the feet. And it's just better overall. 22 years old, very young, to be on the card of Charles. Hopefully he doesn't get starstruck and fucking eat gun shy, whatever. Because if he fights like how he did on Contender Series, he should win this pretty easily. And that should be that. So give me Rafael Tobias by submission in the first. I think he could get a knockout or he could get a submission. I'll go for submission because that's how Dyer has lost all of his fights. So, you know, nothing crazy there. And yeah, give me Tobias by submission in the first. Almost lock the night, but we'll get to the lock later. And yeah, not really too much else to say there. You know, Rafael Tobias by submission in the first. Nurgazai is a joke, and what else is there to really say? So simple, not much else to add. Dyer is a joke, and yeah, I mean Tobias by submission in the first. Simple. And then we end the early prelims with a fight that is definitely a fight. A fight that would be perfect for the Apex, but it's for some reason on this card. And another fight I am dreading picking, and maybe the fight I'm dreading most, I would say maybe the hardest fight to predict on the card, as we have in our featured early prelim in the flyweight division, a double header at flyweight here. At the end early prelims, and again the prelims, to end the early prelims, we have the Tibetan Eagle Sumu Darji versus Jesus Aguilar. Oh boy, I gotta predict this split decision. Oh joy. Yeah, this is an Apex prelim in every sense of the word. I know I already said that, but it's even more true here. Two very average flyweights in a fight I don't want to pick. Oh boy, let's see what happens. Can't wait. Jesus Christ. This card's a pain to predict. I will be amazed if anyone does great on picks here. Let's begin with Sumu. Sumu Darji is 18-7 in his career in UFC, a long time. 30 years old. I thought he was older. 5-4 in UFC. His cousin or whatever just lost on road to UFC a few weeks ago. That's probably not great for him. His wins in UFC have been Andrei Sokermom, Malcolm Gordon, Zaruk Adeshev, Mitch Raposo, and Kevin Borjas. His losses have been Louis Smoka, Matt Schnell, Tim Elliott, and Charles Johnson. Sumu was not a great fighter, I'm sorry. Take away that Matt Schnell fight which he lost. What the fuck has he done? He's beaten nobody good. His best win is Kevin Borjas, or yeah, it's probably Kevin Borjas. The Raposo fight was closer than it should have been. Adeshev and Gordon are pathetic. I don't know why Sumu Darji was ranked for so long. He did nothing to deserve it. Lost to Tim Elliott, which is understandable. Charles Johnson beat him easily. People still pretend that was a close fight. He got in the UFC off a goddamn loss. So, I think he's a can. There's much worse in the division than him, obviously. But again, even if he wants it, he's bounced back. How he beat again, the Raposo fight was closer than it ever should have been. And Borjas, he kind of only won that fight because Borjas didn't fight back. So, it's like, I'm not calling Sue a can. I think he's a fine fighter. But he's so overrated. He's nothing special at all. And I'm just not high on him at all against anyone actually halfway decent, because his best one again is Kevin Borjas. So, and I'll give him that. I'll give him one thing. He's only lost to good fighters. His worst loss would be Louis Smoka. So, good on him there, but I just don't think he's that good at all. And he's very average at best. Again, I think, of course, there are worse flyweights, Daniel Barrez and Clayton Carpenter, but yeah, I just don't think Sue is that great at all. And not impressed with his last 2 wins. But maybe he'll shut me up and get 3. Who fucking knows anymore? Because he is fighting the very tiny Mexican, who probably should have fought last week. I don't know why this wasn't on last week's card. The opponent, Jesus Aguilar. 12-3, 29 years old. Hey, his birthday's in a week. 4-2 in UFC. His coming off the Contender Series, his wins have been Shannon Ross, Mateus Mondanka, even though debatable, Stuart Nickel, and Luis Gurule. His 2 losses have been Tatsuro Taira and Rafael Estevan. Yeah, Aguilar is not the most impressive fighter. I think he has the smallest reach in the UFC. He is very tiny overall, and yeah, he's not great. His wins are very He could easily be 3-3 in the UFC if the Mondanka fight wasn't debatable. And then his other wins would be kinda weak. Again, his losses, Tatsuro, he's obviously a phenomenal fighter. Estevan, what can you say there? He's fine, but Ethan Ewing's about to beat him in a few weeks, I believe, or maybe next week, I don't remember. Aguilar is what he is. He's fine, decent striker, fine grappling, good guillotine. I don't know. I'm not high on either guy here. I think both are ungodly untrustworthy to predict, so neither have lost to bad fighters. Both of them beat the bottom of the barrel guys they fight. Now they fight each other. See what happens. Can't fucking wait. The betting odds for his fight are the same as the Bolanos fight. Barely weird. Minus 240 for Medarji, plus 190 for Jesus. Again, should be a pick'em. I don't know a simpler way to put it. That should be a pick'em. I don't know how you could see this and be confident on either side. Sue has never done great against anyone that good. Jesus is Jesus. Yeah. 5'8 versus 5'4. Damn it. 72 to 60. 10 and 9.5 inch reach advantage. And Jesus is 53% picked. Wow. No one knows how to pick this fight. On the feet, probably Sue's a bit better because of the reach, but Aguilar might have the more power. Grappling, Jesus is probably the better grappler. We'll see what happens here. I have no idea which way to lean here. Sue is untrustworthy, and I don't think that great. Jesus is not that great and untrustworthy. Give me... I can already tell you no matter which way I go, I'm getting this fight wrong. Give me Jesus Aguilar. God damn it. I don't trust either. Like I said, I have no faith in either side of the coin here. But if I have to pick someone here, I guess Jesus Aguilar. If you think I'm picking and praying with Bolanos, I am picking and fucking praying here like no other. I have no faith in either side. And again, if I have to make a pick, which I do, give me Jesus Aguilar, I guess. I have no confidence or faith in that prediction. This just screams a split decision a mile away. And, see what happens. So I'm not excited or confident in this fight or pick. And, yeah, I will not be shocked if I get this one wrong. Bolanos, I could actually see getting right a bit. I have no faith in getting this right, so let's see what happens. Give me Jesus Aguilar by decision, but God, am I confident in that. And, let's see what happens. What else can I really say? Let's see what happens. And, I won't be shocked if Sue wins this. Won't be shocked if Jesus wins this. I'll be shocked if I get this right. Give me Jesus by decision. Hardest fight to pick on the card. Maybe of the whole year. And, wish me luck. Pick and pray. Give me Jesus Aguilar, I guess. And there you go. That's the early prelims. Only 38 minutes later. 2 easy fights. 2 very difficult fights. And, yeah. Oh boy. The light heavyweight should be very fun and easy. I won't be shocked if I'm 2-2 going into the prelims. I would be fucking shocked if I'm 4-0, and 3-1 would be a fucking pipe dream. So, to see. I got 2 wins for sure, and possible 2 losses. At least it gets a bit easier from here. So, let's get to the prelims. It does not get easier at the beginning though. I had to begin staying at flyweight with the weights, and at least the easier the pick of the 2 fights. And then we have in our opening prelim staying at flyweight for the last time tonight in the double header. And again, this one is the lesser of the 2 fights and the easier to pick. So Eliza above it beats me. And we have in our first prelim of the night in the flyweight division, a much easier fight to pick, and it's still not that easy. We have Cody custom made Durden versus, wish me luck here, Art of Knockout, Namjorl Termendembro. Yeah, that first name's a bitch to try and pronounce. Oh boy, Cody Durden, a guy I don't like, versus Termendembro, a guy I think is not good. Can't wait. These prelims are not good. Let's talk about Cody Durden first. The American Cody Durden, custom made, I'll give him a not bad nickname. 17-9-1, 34 years old, and then gonna be 35 in a few weeks. 6-7, don't start, and 1 in the UFC. His wins not off the Contender Series, have been Orichu Lang, JP Buys, Carlos Mata, Charles Johnson, Jake Hadley, and Matt Schnell. He's lost to Jimmy Flick, Muhammad Mukayev, Tagir Ulanbekov, Bruno Silva, Joshua Van, Jose Cho, and Al Nascimento. He had a draw in his debut versus Chris Gutierrez. As much as I don't like him, I will always admit Cody Durden's actually a pretty okay fighter. Had a few decent wins. Charles Johnson, I guess Orichi Lang's alright. Matt, yeah, I won't even push it that far. His losses, outside of Jimmy Flick, are all very respectable and understandable, especially the last few, Van, Nascimento, Silva, Ulanbekov, even Ochoa to an extent. He's not a bad fighter at all. He's getting older though, 30, almost 5 years old. His chin is getting a bit shaky, getting knocked out against Ochoa and then dropped against Nascimento. The chin has definitely gotten shakier over time. But he, again, is still a pretty solid fighter, still probably a top 20 dude in this division. Again, unlike what he is, just look at that losing streak and tell me that's a bad losing streak, or even a bad 1-5 last 6 fights. And, yeah, he's had some good moments, had a nice winning streak, and now if he can stay in the UFC and get a win here, or is this his last chance? Because obviously a loss here would get him cut, so of course I would not mind seeing him lose, but we'll see. Giving him his easiest fight since, I would say Jake Hadley. I think Schnell is even a bit more of a challenge than Termendembro, and let's see how he does here. See if he can keep his chin from getting cracked. We know he's a good wrestler. His striking is not terrible, and actually he was doing pretty good against Nascimento, and see what he does here. See if this is the last time for better we see Cody Durden. Because he is one of the long names of Termendembro, 9-1, should be 10-0, I won't even lie there. 27 years old, another March birthday, 1-1 in the UFC, should be 2-0, let's be honest, he is undefeated. Coming off road to UFC where he got signed for being impressive, and then he's not been impressive at all since. He beat Carlos Hernandez, but wasn't a great win, and he got robbed, but yeah, he won that fight. And then on road to UFC, it was a long story. He beat Terrence Satum, who is fighting nobody, and now he is here. Again, he should be 10-1. I believe he was the only Mongolian fighter on the roster, one of Art of Knockout with 2 knockout wins. Will still never make a fucking lick of sense to me, but yeah. And yeah, he's not that good at all, to be honest. His grappling's actually not terrible. His striking is not anything special. He has a funny hat and a long name, so you think he would have extra power. He doesn't. And yeah, his best one is probably, Batbayar, who will be in the UFC more than likely. And Saturn and Hernandez are pretty weak wins. And yeah, I just don't think highly of Termendembro. I think he's a very mid, actually being below average fighter. And but let's see if he can get a really big win here against the best fighter he's fought in Durden. So let's find out. The betting odds say that he will at -165 plus 140. I don't care if those odds. I would have him much closer. If you want to have Termendembro the favorite, I would understand, but I'd have like -140, 130 at most. 145 at the highest. Same height, Termendembro had the big reach advantage, and he's 82% picked. God damn it, I'm going Cody Durden here. I think he is the better fighter, and I just don't think much of Termendembro at all. I hate to pick Durden, especially when I would love to see him lose and get cut, but I just really struggle to pick against him here, because I just don't think Termendembro is that good at all. Could he clip Durden and submit him after or knock him out in general? Sure. Could he just take him down and catch him in a submission? Sure. Could he win over 3 rounds? Maybe. But I just think Durden's better. Like, on the feet, I don't think they're that much apart. Grappling, Durden might be better. Cardio, I think Durden's better. I just think Durden's a better fighter here, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe Termendembro is actually decent. I don't see it. I really don't. I think Durden's a better fighter, and I fucking hate to say it, I'm picking Cody Durden to keep his job and win here. Since this fight was booked, I've said Durden was going to win, and I stick by that. I just think Durden's a bit better here. If he lost this fight, it would debatably be his worst loss in the UFC. Him or Jimmy Flick, that's for you to decide. And, I just don't think he's going to lose to a guy who isn't that good in Termendembro, even though he should be 10-0. He's just not that good, so I hate to say it, but give me Cody Durden to keep his job and win here by decision. I think unbiasedly, I think he's like a guy. I'm gonna pick 2 more underdogs on the card, but they're biased picks. I think Durden's the best underdog on the card. More than Aguilar and Bolanos. Yeah, I love having 3 underdog picks in 5 fights, but it's what it is. And I'm going Durden here. I just think he's better. I hate to say it, but I'm going Cody Durden by decision. Am I worried about that chin? Yes. And outside that, am I pretty fine and think he's better fighter and can win this? Yeah. So give me Cody Durden by decision. Don't get clipped. Be the better fighter. Get the win. So hate to say it. Give me Cody Durden by decision. Best underdog on the card, in my opinion. And if he loses, I'm not upset because good riddance. But also, if I'm picking him biasly, I'm going to be biased later. I'm going to pick who I actually think wins this. Give me Cody Durden by decision. My heart. So I've picked Patty, fucking Finney, Durden. I'm picking everyone I hate this year. God damn it. Give me Cody Durden. After that, we get to our second fight of the prelims. Our back for our 3rd and final debut tonight. Yes, this is a debut. I know most of you don't even know who this is, but this is a guy who got on Contender Series, got through. So I'll tell you about him, don't worry. And we have in our second fight of the prelims. Hopefully no one faints this time, as you can see Ricky fight. We have in our second fight of the prelims our last debut of the night at featherweight, our last trip there as well. We finally get to see this dude fight in 2026 after not getting to him in January, versus someone finally making their debut, I guess, Venezuelan Ilya. We have Alberto the Promise Montes versus Ricky Torcios. We got 2 finalies here. Alberto Montes finally making his debut, and Ricky Torcios finally, knock on wood, fighting in 2026. So, about fucking time for both of these guys to fight. Now let's talk about debuting off of the Contender Series. I know, hard to believe, because easy to forget, but that is where he's coming from. Debuting Alberto Montes, 10-1, 31 years old, coming off the Contender Series in 2024. The last fighter to debut from that season of Contender Series, finally fighting after being gone for 2 years. Did have a fight booked in April of last year, but that fell through. Now we're going to see him here. It's good to see Montes. I remember being semi-impressed with him on Contender Series. He looked okay. He didn't look like that bad of a fighter at all. Getting the submission. Don't love that one loss. Is who the fuck is the Luka guy? I have to stop looking at the people y'all are losing to, because Jesus fucking Christ. But it is good to see Montez has won 3 in a row since. Not against anyone good, but still, who fucking knows how he looks here, because we haven't seen him since October of 24. How rusty is Montez? What I remember, he's pretty good grappling. Striking was not great from the goat shed. A pretty decent camp right now for Eileen Perez and a few others. So, the Karate Combat owner running that camp. And let's see what Montez can do here again. I don't remember him being terrible on Contender Series. Again, I remember actually thinking he was decent. But I haven't watched that in 2 years, and B, he hasn't fought in 2 years, so who knows what he looks like in the cage after all that time away. How rusty is he? He's 31, so he's not spring chicken. So, let's see what we got here on Montez. Let's see if it was worth the wait for him to finally debut, and see what happens. So, not getting the hardest debuts, but if he's so rusty, he'll still lose. Let's see what Montez has here. I'm happy he's finally debuting, because it's stupid to watch people just not fight. And see what Alberto can do here after 2 years away. Fighting the man who is very unlucky, but it seems like he will actually fight this time. Ricky Torcios, 12-5, 32 years old, getting his second fight of 2026. Hopefully this one actually happens. I'm not gonna waste much time talking about him here, because I did back in January when he was meant to fight some other men, but he fucking fainted. Torcios is, I don't think, gonna stay at featherweight. I think he's just moving up for this fight, because he didn't feel like cutting weight again, which is respectable. Again, I'll say what I always say. Looked great on Tough, got the win, and then has been terrible since. 1-3. His losses are fine. His one win he didn't even look good in. He's not a great fighter, really, falling off. Probably gonna lose here and get cut. We'll see. Hopefully his opponent doesn't faint this time. And I am happy Ricky was smart and moved up to featherweight here to not have to cut that weight again. And hopefully he gets a fight this time. I think the only thing that really matters to him. And yeah, we'll see if he can keep his job here. One of the most disappointing Ultimate Fighter winners of all time. The betting odds for this fight have Montez minus 185 with plus 160. I don't know if I would have Montez that big of a favorite. I'd probably move him down to maybe 150, 160. Because again, we haven't seen him in 2 years. If this was right out of Contender Series Montez, then yeah, I would agree. But 2 years away in his early 30s. Again, it wasn't some top tier prospect. He was just kind of decent. Let's see how he looks here after all that time away. So, 2 inches in height for Torcios and 2 inches in reach as well, but 88% going Montez. I'm gonna go Montez here as well, but I'm not super confident, because again, that time away is extremely fucking terrifying. But, you know, let's see. Skill does not get hurt by ring rust usually, so see if he's really that guy. And again, was he worth the wait? Could Ricky win this fight due to Montez either being not good or rusty? Yes, I can 100% see that, but I'm gonna say it's unlikely. Give me Montez to get the win by decision here after a year and a half away. And yeah, let's see. Hopefully he's not too rusty and he can get the win here, because again, Torcios is not good. So, you know, hopefully this fight happens, because Torcios does not have good luck in 2026 so far. But hopefully he has luck here and he gets the fight. But hopefully Montez gets the win, because that's my pick. Give me Alberto Montez by decision here. And yeah, not very much else to say. Happy he's fine debuting. Hopefully he's not too rusty. Maybe Ricky pulls off the upset because of that. But if he's not rusty, give me Alberto Montez by decision in his long overdue debut. And then I'm not going to waste any time here, because none needs to be wasted. Our prelim co-main event of the evening. The easiest fight to pick on the card, the lock of the night. I don't look at this any different as the Medina. Gondor fight last week, to be honest. And we have our prelim of the prelims, that's a fucking weird sentence. We have Dante Lockjaw Johnson versus Cody Brundage. Dante Johnson knockout in the first lock of the night. He's fighting Cody Brundage. What else needs to be said? This is the exact same thing as Gondor and Medina. I think Brundage is a fucking joke. And, yeah, Dante Johnson locks the night. Somehow they found him a easier fight than Dusko Todorovic, who pulled out of this fight. And, yeah, give me Johnson lock of the night by knockout in the first. Brundage is a joke. He's a fucking cockroach that won't just fuck off. And, yeah, I'm gonna just say that. Simple. Not wasting time on Cody Brundage. And then I say this is when I think we're really getting into the meat and potatoes of this card, beginning with the featured prelim. One of the saddest fights I've ever fucking seen, and that even before it happens. We have in the featured prelim in the bantamweight division, how the mighty have fucking fallen. One of 3 former champs on the card, and he's here. The other 2 are in the goddamn main event. How sad. As we have in the featured prelim in the bantamweight division, one of the saddest fights ever, and that's before it even happens. We have in the featured prelim, Cody No Love Garbrandt versus Long Zhao. Cody Garbrandt's career might really end versus a guy most people have never heard of. I've heard of him obviously, but God, this is sad. 10 years ago, this guy right here was an undefeated champion. 10 years later, he's here. This sport fucking sucks, man. Let's talk about the former champ, Cody Garbrandt. 14-7. That is sad. 34 years old, 9-7 in the UFC. Since being an undefeated champion back in 2016 at 10-0, since winning the belt, he's won 3-7, I believe, yes. Beating Rafael Sunsao, Trevin Jones, and Brian Kelleher. Losing to TJ twice, Pedro, Rob Font, Kai Kara, Figgy, and Raoni Barcelos. It's sad what Cody Garbrandt has become at this point. His only wins have been pretty easy fights. Sunsao, okay, that was, I guess, a bit difficult. But Trevin Jones and Brian Kelleher are pathetic wins. I mean, he's lost every other time. Not even looking good in any of these fights, really. He looked okay against TJ in the first one. Did okay against Pedro. Font Cara beat him easily. Figgy beat him easily. He did passable against Raoni, but he still clearly lost. And now he's here. Midlife crisis Garbrandt. That stupid fucking face tattoo now. We know his chin is shot. His speed is not what it used to be. He's just really fucking old. He fucking peaked. He already had his prime, and it's sad. It's really fucking sad. I was a fan of Cody, and I backed him for a long time, but it's just over. He is either A, meant for PFL, or one of those other organizations, or B, he's meant to box Jake Paul. 'Cause yeah, he's not meant to be in the UFC anymore. Yeah, he's just done. He's in his midlife crisis. And he had a great prime. That 2016, one of the greatest years by a fighter of all time. That Cruz fight, one of my favorite of all time. One of the best challenger performances of all time. But 10 years later, he's won 3 fights. And is 14-7 when he won the belt. He was 10-0. So, it's sad. It's just sad. I don't know another word to put. And, this should be his last one. If he retires or gets cut, I don't want to see him fight again in general right now. I didn't want to see him fight fucking 2 years ago. But now it should be his last one. This sport's fucking brutal, man. This sport's fucking brutal. And, yeah, what can you say? So, still former champion, still gonna always be remembered, but God, ever since, everything has went wrong. And now he is fighting a guy, again, most people I don't even know, but I'll tell you, he's actually not too bad. 27-10, 27 years old, hey, same birthday as me. 1-2 in UFC, you know, some people would say he could even be 3-0 in UFC. He got to the road to UFC finale, lost to Chang Li, but a lot of people think he won that fight. He smashed Quang Li, and then he lost to Su Young Yu in a banger. A lot of people think he won that fight as well, so he's making it close with these guys. Chang Li, that's not aged well, but Su Young Yu is really fucking good. He wiped the floor of Cody. Don't love that Christian Quinones lost back in 2021, but, you know, Zhao's not a great fighter, I'm not gonna say that, but he's fine, he's decent, he's a top 55 bantamweight, I would say. Got good power, grappling is fine, he's decent. Yeah, he's a tough motherfucker. Again, that Su Young Yu fight was insane, the shots he took and what they were doing at the end of that fight. And, yeah, he's fine. Again, he's much better than Cody at this point. And, yeah, he's a top 55-ish bantamweight. Cody Garbrandt is not. And, yeah, this is a gigantic opportunity for Zhao. It's the biggest fight of his life. This would be a gigantic win for him. And, he'll be performed in the biggest spotlight. So, first time not fighting a Korean, Chinese, I don't know what these guys are, but someone else like that, fighting an American, and not fighting. This is his first fight out of, like I think all series were in, like, Macau or shit like that, so first time in America fighting an American. So see how he does. Biggest moment of his life, to retire a legend. He is minus 165 plus 135. I think the odds should be wider. I think Zhao should be minus 200 easily. I could not make a case for Cody to win this fight if I tried. Zhao is... they're the same height, and he has 5 or 4.5 inches in reach, but 71% going Cody Garbrandt, proving my point. People don't know Zhao, which is fine. But yeah, Cody is not winning this fight. He's just not. I'm going Long Zhao by knockout in the first. He has good power, good hands. He is the quicker fighter now, and he should start Cody. I'd be fucking amazed. I'd be amazed and happy if Cody won this fight. I just don't see how it happens. I don't. He's slower. He's not. His wrestling's not that great. His strike. He still probably has decent power in his hands, but Zhao's a tough motherfucker. I can't make a case for Cody here. Zhao's better everywhere, and I think he should win this fight. So give me Long Zhao by knockout in the first. It's gonna be sad. It's gonna be really sad, but the sport is goddamn ruthless, and it has no love for anyone, and definitely hasn't had any love for Cody Garbrandt. I think he's gonna go out sad. Give me Long Zhao by knockout in the first. Sucks to say, but time flies, man. 10 years ago, wouldn't even be a fight. 10 years later, it still isn't, but it's the other way around. Sorry, Cody. Time is time, Monk. Give me Long Zhao by knockout in the first, and the career of Cody Garbrandt. And there you go. That's the prelims. Overall, in these 4, pretty decent set of 4 prelims, and then overall, not bad. I'm not thrilled for these 2 fights. The rest, pretty decent. And, yeah, 3 underdog picks, 4 finishes. See what happens. We'll see what happens. I could easily be going into the main card, I would say 5-3, maybe 4-4. But we'll see. And yeah, not the. Are they bad prelims overall? No. Are they a bad pay-per-view prelims? Yes. This is an Apex prelims at its finest. It is just not a great prelims. Intriguing the last 2 fights and the light heavyweight debuts. Montez debuting's cool, Durden's fine, it's just these two are really weak. And, but even no matter what I think of most of the fights, it's still an Apex prelims. And, yeah, not strong. Is the main card any better? For pay-per-view standards, no, but I guess overall, yeah. So, I guess let's get into it. An hour later, 5 more fights at the end of this shit, beginning with the main card opener, a rematch of Fears in the Making, and this is a rematch that's actually not terrible, and makes sense. Unlike Nora and Edwards, which was actually good, this one actually makes sense going into it. A few years in the making, we have to open the main card thanks to Paulo Costa pulling out like he always does. And now we have a rematch to open the main card of UFC 326 at middleweight with Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez versus Bruno the Hulk Ferreira. A rematch a few years in the making, I believe 3 years. They first fought back in UFC 280, was it 3? I believe, in that ballpark, Hill and Teixeira. And now they rematch again here a couple years later, both in top 15. What happens? Let's find out. Let's begin with RoboCop. Let's begin with the Hot-2 RoboCop stepping in for Paulo Costa, pulled out, but it was like a month or two ago, so more than enough time. Beginning with RoboCop, Violent Obama, 18-6, 34 years old, 9-3 in the UFC. Since that Bruno Ferreira fight, he has went 5-1, only losing Jared Cannonier, beating everyone else like Leroy Duncan, Jack Hermanson, and Kopylov. RoboCop's really good, man. It was, that loss was a complete fluke, if we're being honest. And he's proved that since, like, and only losing to Jared Cannonier, who's very fucking good. And, he's a tank, man, what can you say? So, like, he's one of the best in the division. I would say borderline top 10 guy in the division. Great power, great striking, good grappling, good cardio, durable as fuck. Actually, his cardio kind of sucks, but everything else is pretty good. At times, he can be kind of decision-y. He can kind of just lay and pray or be kind of meh on the feet. But if he's throwing, someone's going to go down, and that's RoboCop for you. What else can you say? He is one of the best in the division. So really, if you he's really 10-2 in the UFC, and if we take away the fluke, he could easily 11-1. So he's good. He's really fucking good. For Bruno Ferreira, since they first met, the winner of the first dance, he is 15-2 overall, 33 years old, 6-2 in the UFC. Since they first met, that was his UFC debut, so he's had his whole UFC career since, going 5-2, so both getting 5 wins since. He has beat Phil Hawes, Dustin Stoltz, Armin Petrosian, Jackson McVeigh, Marvin Vittori. None of those are good wins. Losing to Nasultan and Abus, those are not good losses. I still stand by the idea Bruno Ferreira is overrated. I don't think he's that good at all. His wins, his best one is outside of RoboCop, is one Marvin Vittori in 2025. Dustin Stoltz. His losses, Zaboriev is not a good loss. Abus is even worse. He's not a great fighter. He's a top 30 middleweight, I guess. But he's just not that fucking good. I don't know another way to put it. I don't think he's that special at all. He has decent power, his grappling's fine, his cardio fine, but he's just not that great, to be honest. And, yeah, Boost and the Sultan, bad losses, bad wins. I don't know what to say about him, so. And to look back on the first fight, 283, I think I said that. Yeah, Bruno knocked him out, but I still think it's very fluky. Again, he kind of just winged the shot and got lucky. RoboCop's chin is a little weak at times, and Bruno does have good power, a lot of power in this fight, so good on him there, but yeah, I still think it's a bit fluky, and I don't think it's gonna happen again, I really don't. They met in Brazil a few years ago. Over 3 years ago. Did Bruno? Don't believe that's the fight they booked originally. He stepped in for Brad Tavares, so he actually got a tougher opponent, only if we knew. And, yeah, now they meet again 3 years later. Bruno's had a full UFC career. RoboCop is a guy in top 15, done some good work. Wins the rematch. Betting odds say RoboCop minus 190 to plus 165. I would agree there. RoboCop is much taller, 3 inches in reach and 75% picked. I just think RoboCop's a better fighter here, and I think he will get revenge here. I think that first fight was a fluke. Bruno threw a lucky shot and got the win. Good for him, but he's not the better fighter than RoboCop. The only things I think he's better at, maybe he has a better chin, and maybe he has better cardio. Outside of that, I think RoboCop's better in power, grappling, who he's actually fought and beat, and yeah, I think RoboCop's better, so I'm going RoboCop here pretty soundly, get revenge and prove that was a fluke the first time. And I did not know this is who I picked in the first fight, but I'm going to pick it again. Lone RoboCop by knockout in the second. I think round 1. Won't be shocked Bruno tries to hang on to him, or they are kind of stagnant in the first round. But I think after that, RoboCop's going to start turning it on and get the finish. He's going to want that finish and want that revenge. So give me Gregory by knockout in the second. Violent Obama gets revenge and puts him away. And proves it was a fluke the first time, so not really much else to say there. Could Bruno clip him again and win and prove it wasn't a fluke? 100%. But I don't see that happening. I don't see this going to full 15 unless RoboCop either A, lays on him like he did COD, or B, just is kind of half on autopilot like against Kopylov. Which I don't see. I think he's going to want that blood. He's going to want that finish. I think he's going to get it. Give me RoboCop by knockout in the second, maybe even the first. Wouldn't be shocked there at all. And yeah, I don't see us going to the scorecards. I don't see this ending without someone out cold. I think the first fight was a fluke, and I want to see that proven here. Give me RoboCop by knockout in the first, or second, my bad. And maybe I do. Should I go first? We'll see, first or second. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say second, and not really much else to say there. Should be fun. Someone should go out. Was it a fluke or not? Let's find out. And we already saw Jocelyn get revenge a few weeks ago. Can RoboCop do the same? And I believe the third match of the year. And so far, the losing fighter in the first time is 1-1. Good job, Diego. And I think RoboCop gets him another win, so give me RoboCop knockout in the second. Well, someone should go out. Maybe proven the first fight was a fluke in the Obama. And then after that, we have the fight that's somehow getting joked on, or getting memed on. I don't understand it, because it's a fucking awesome fight, and people just don't know how to have fun. As we have in our second fight of the main card, an OG, I would say lightweight legend battle at lightweight. A banger that has no chance of going probably past round 1, if not round 2. Someone going, speaking of knockouts, this is going to be a banger and I can't wait. As we have in our second fight of the main card, a fight that more than deserves to be on the main card. I don't get why people are bitching about it. This is a banger. Just shut up and enjoy it. We have 2 lightweight legends between Drew Dober versus Michael the Menace Johnson. The knockout king of the division versus the king of beating every good fighter in the division. This is gonna be awesome. I'm so excited. What can I say about this fight? Do I really need to break this down? You know Drew Dober, he's a knockout king at lightweight, coming off a win against Prepelic. He is washed and his chin is very shaky, but he has bombs in his hand, and he's again the lightweight knockout record in our division with Gaethje, Poirier, etc. That's impressive Michael Johnson. He beat those guys I just named, and he's on a 3-fight winning streak now, doing very good and doing some of the best work he's done in years. Another OG of the division, the best, worst fighter ever. What can you say? This is just a banger. I'm shocked this fight hasn't happened before. Two, again, legends of the division, not maybe overall, but of the division. And someone getting knocked out here. The chances of this going to the scorecards are slim and none, and I'm not even saying slim, they are none. And someone's going to sleep here. Guess who? Betting, I'd say it's going to be MJ. Very high possibility of that. I would say MJ probably is the A side here because he's been better lately. But Dober, man, whoever lands first. Both of them have shaky chins. MJ's been knocked out many times. Dober's been knocked out many times. Both in their late 30s. Both could retire any day now, and no one would be like, oh wow, well, early, it's from maybe a bit overdue. What happens? Does Dober build on the knockout record at lightweight, or does MJ get his 4th win in a row after knocking off genius though Huber not that long ago? I don't think I've ever picked against him. I don't think I'm going to start now. Give me Drew motherfucking Dober. Do I think he's going to win? Probably not. I won't be shocked if he's the one getting chinned here. But, again, he has knockout king for a reason, that division. One big shot, he goes down. We all know the memes. I won't say them, and I think they're a bit stupid, but they are kind of factual. See what happens, man. Let's see what happens. Again, I've only picked against Drew Dober one time, and that was Terrence McKinney, and I was almost right. I'm picking Dobe. I'm a Drew Dober fan. Who isn't a Drew Dober fan? I'm a Michael Johnson fan. These are two OG legends of the division. I can't wait. Someone's getting knocked out. Shut up and enjoy it, is all I can say. Give me Drew Dober by knockout first. If MJ wins, cool. If Dober wins, cool. If someone ends up out cold here, I don't. That's all that matters. Give me Dober, though. Give me Dober to continue the knockout record, make it a little bit higher. I think he would put it at 11, right? Or something like that. I forget what, I think. I know he just passed Poirier. I think it was like 9 or 10, I forget. But, yeah, I'm going to say he built on that record. Give me Drew Dober by knockout first. Am I confident? No. Do I care? No. Do I just want to see these two fight and have a banger? Of goddamn course. Let's see it. What more can I say? Give me Drew Dober, knockout in the first. Someone getting knocked out. I can't wait. Just shut up and enjoy it. Stop crying about it. It's the second best fight on the main card and on the card. So let's enjoy it. And then from a high of highs of back-to-back great fights on the main card, we go to a low of lows of back-to-back shit fights on the main card that I'm not going to waste a lot of time on. Getting with the most pathetic fight on the card, maybe in general. Yeah, in the bantamweight division, the featured bout of the main card that has no business being on this card or even happening. We have at bantamweight in a joke fight in our featured bout. I'm not going to waste much time here. We have Rob Font versus El Nino Problema, Raul Rosas Jr. He's probably gonna lose, but I'm going Rob Font here. I don't care. Raul Rosas is garbage. I have no respect for him. He's a shit fighter. He's fought shit fighters and looked terrible beating them, barely. I don't think Rob Font's that good, but I have more respect for him, which says a lot. Give me Rob Font by decision. Do I think he wins? Probably not. I mean, Raul will be able to lay on him and win, but we'll see. I don't have respect for Raul at all. His best win is Richie Lang, who he looked terrible against. He looked terrible against Vince Morales. He lost to C-Rod. He's a joke. Raul Rosas is maybe the worst fighter the UFC has tried to push lately. Charbullet's better. Peyton Talbot would smoke him. Give me Rob Font, who, again, probably gonna lose by just getting cuddled, but I don't care. Give me Font by decision. Rosas is a joke. I don't care that he's 21, I don't care that he's fucking ugly, I don't care that he says a stupid catchphrase. Give me Rob Font by decision. This fight's a joke. Nothing else to say. And then we have the co-main event of the evening. A fight I don't think anyone gives a shit about, because it's not a great fight, and if this was an Apex card without the main event, this would be a weak main event. I think Vallejo's Nemit's a better fight next week. As we have in our co-main event of the evening, in the middleweight division, a fight I truly could not care less about, because it's A, easy to predict, and B, a shitty fight. We have in our co-lame event, a nice piss break before the main event. We have Caio, the Natural Barallo, versus Renier the Quitter. Yeah, obviously Caio Barallo's gonna win this fight. What else can I say? Renier's a joke. Yeah, Caio did lose to Imvov at an off night. Simple as that. I don't think I was going to be a champion or anything. I think he is the third best fighting nerd behind Gene and Carlos, but yeah, he is levels better than Renier. Renier coming off getting bitched out by Brandon Allen, but he fought 5 times in a year. Good job. I don't care. He sucks. He quit. I have no respect for quitters like him and Aspinall. He sucks. Simple as that. Give me Caio easily. If I had to have a lock on the main card, he'd be it. And yeah, he's winning this fight easily. Minus 260, should be higher, should be minus 340. And yeah, he's winning this fight. Renier's bigger, doesn't mean shit, and bigger in reach. Didn't mean shit against Allen. He's 68% on Barallo. Give me Caio Barallo by decision. Renier's a joke. Nothing more to really say. Kyle's gonna take him down and lay on him for 3 rounds. Pretty simple. Renier's a bitch, and yeah, not much else to say though. Give me a Caio by decision. In the co-lame. And then finally we get to the main event of the evening, the battle of 2 of the greatest of all time for the toy bout that is the BMF. We can look past that. And we have in the main event of UFC 326, a battle at lightweight between 2 of the top 15 greatest of all time, sadly fighting for toy belt. Who cares? Rematching after 15 years. That first fight wasn't even a fight. As we have in the main event, a banger between 2 legends, 2 first ballot Hall of Famers. As we have in the main event, Max Blessed Holloway versus Charles Du Bronx Oliveira. What an awesome fucking fight. Toy bout or not, long overdue we see this rematch after years and years of waiting. Not often can you say we're gonna see a fight between 2 of the top 15 greats of all time when they're already in that top 15. The second or third greatest featherweight of all time versus the second greatest lightweight of all time. 2 first bout Hall of Famers. 2 of the best at lightweight still. Winner fights arm on, I would say, and let's see if they can win that fight. But first they gotta win this one. I can't fucking wait. This is gonna be awesome. What do I need to break down? We know Max Holloway, one of the greatest strikers of all time. Might be a little pillow-handed, but still, he's in a point. When he points, you better throw. Don't bitch out of it. Charles, one of the greatest grapplers of all time, has got better striking over the years and good power. Neither guy's gonna quit. Neither guy's gonna fade. This is gonna be a banger for 25 minutes or less, and I can't wait. Again, this is years in the making. They first fought in 2015, 11 years ago, a Fight Night main event that ended due to a shoulder injury, which sucks, but that happens, I guess, in Canada. And now we get to see him run it when at this time Max was young, 23, Charles was young, 25. Now they're up a weight class and been two of the greatest of all time. What can you say? What the fuck can you say at this point? I can't sell this fight any more than just facts can sell it. So, I can't wait. I truly can't. Max minus 200 plus 160. Yeah, I would say those are on the money. If maybe Max need to be like minus 250. About the same height. Charles actually has the reach advantage, but Max is 70% picked. Ooh, something's gonna happen Saturday night, and I cannot wait. The Blessed Express keep rolling and beat him again, or does Charles just find a way to win? I can't wait. More than likely, being honest, Max wins. I see Max just probably being better on feet and staying away from the ground and winning a decision. But I don't know. I truly don't. If I was on it, I'm of course I'm a fan of both. I'm an MMA fan, but I don't want to pick against Charlie, bruh. I don't. I gotta put my pick against Charles. I've only picked against him one time, and that was Ilya, because that was a no-brainer. Outside of that, I gotta pick Amir, and I'm picking Amir. I don't think he's gonna win, but I'm putting my pick in as Charles do Bronx Oliveira to get the win and get the BMF, which is more than deserved for him to get that. He had to join the lineage of Masvidal, Max, Gaethje, so he deserves it. I want to see it. I never want to see Charles lose, and if he loses here, he might retire, which is scary to think. So give me Charles the Bronx, but I'm gonna put it in decision because I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. It's a biased pick anyway, but I can't wait. Is all I can say. I cannot fucking wait. My brain says Holloway, my heart says Oliveira, and I'm going with my heart. I don't think he's gonna win. I think Max is gonna win, but give me Charles the Bronx Oliveira to win. I don't think he will, and I can't wait. Will Charles bitch out of the point and throw? I don't think so. This is gonna be a banger, and I cannot fucking wait. I just feel a legendary moment happening here. I don't know what, and I cannot put my finger on it. I feel like something's gonna happen here that we're never gonna forget. Kinda like Gaethje and Holloway. Something's gonna happen. There's a vibe in the air. But what is it? Let's find out. Give me Charles biasedly. I think Max is gonna win pretty soundly. But let's see what happens. Great fight. Two of the greatest of all time. See what happens. No shoulder injury this time. Who wins? Let's find out. And with that being said, boom. That was the card. To go over my picks one more time. Luke Fernandez by knockout in the first. Gaston Bolanos by decision. Rafael Tobias by submission in the first. Jesus Aguilar by decision. Cody Durden by decision. Alberto Montez by decision. Dante Johnson by lock of the night by knockout in the first. Long Zhao by knockout in the first. Gregory Rodriguez by knockout in the second. Drew Dober by knockout in the first. Rob Font by decision. Caballero by decision. And Charles the Bronx Oliveira by decision. Bang. How many finishes is that? 4, 6? 6 finishes? Yeah, I guess that's about half the card. I could maybe see Kyle finishing Ranier. The main event could end in a finish. Maybe Montez gets a finish. Outside of that, probably the rest will go the full 15. And there you go. So Charles, Font, both biased and Dober, all kind of biased picks. The rest, what I think. And yeah, I could either have a great night of picks or a goddamn terrible one. let's find out. I'm excited. Card still sucks, but the main event's great. And, let's see what happens, so not really too much else to say there. And, yeah, there you go. Pretty simple. The end is a one fight card in every sense of the word. Or if the one fight can carry this card, and if the card under it can actually carry itself. So, I'm excited. We got a night of fights, and let's see what happens, so. I'm trying to think if there's anything more that needs to be said. Not that I know of, so. Again, we're gonna get the White House card announced during this as well, which is gonna be fucking sweet. So, see what happens, so. Not really too much else to be said there. Obviously, we'll be recapping this card on Sunday. So, we'll hopefully be talking good about it, but, in 2026, how cards have been, and me. So, we'll see. That's a high possibility we don't talk highly of it, but who knows. And, yeah, let's see what happens, man. I'm gonna be live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, of course. And, shorts. I'm gonna have 2 out today, on Friday, 1 out tomorrow, and, for fight day, and, yeah, see what happens, man. Pay-per-view, first one in a hot minute. See what happens, so. That being said, not really too much else to be said. Let's enjoy what hopefully can be a card that delivers more than it should. Main event's gonna be great. Can the rest follow suit? We'll see. And, yeah, not really too much else to say there, so that's how we're going to say things, which I don't believe I am. With that being said, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe to, and so the goal by the end of 2026, which is never going to happen, but I can dream, as always. RX. Out. Good vibes. Only. And always, the champion has a name. Charles Du Bronx Oliveira.